So, as part of her Math Art Challenge series, Annie Perkins posted a challenge about Sona drawings. And Sona drawings have their roots back to the African tradition, and they were used by local people to tell stories, folk tales, parables. And the way it works is this. You're going to take a square grid like this, and you can use graph paper, just make dots where the grid lines cross, or just take a plain piece of paper and draw a square pattern. And I'm going to make just for our first example, I'm going to make a 3x4 grid. All right, so I'm going to just sort of emphasize 3 rows of 4 dots here. Okay? So when you enter this grid, you're going to enter at a 45-degree angle, traveling only at 45-degree angles, but when you get to the outside of the grid, you make a 90-degree turn. Unless you go around a corner, then you make a 180. All right, so let me show you how this works. So I'm going to enter in at a 45-degree angle. Now here I need to make a 90-degree turn. And you're staying between the pegs, between the dots. Now at this corner I'm going to make a 180. And now I'm at a corner, so I need to make a 180. Again, staying between the pegs at 45 degrees. Now here I'm going to make a 90-degree turn. And another 90-degree turn. 90. Now we make a 180. Another 180. And a 90, and watch what happens. You end up right back where you started. All right? So this 3x4 grid needed only one continuous path. All right? We'll explore the mathematics of that in a later video. But what you could do with that is play with different size grids, try different combinations of grids and see what happens. And we're going to see some examples that require maybe 2 or 3 paths later in a different video. But what I did next with this was I said, well, this looks an awful lot like a weaving to me. So I took a piece of scrap wood and I drew a grid on it. And initially I was thinking of having the nails spaced every ½ inch. But as I started pounding the nails in, I realized that the nails are just going to be too close together. That I would have difficulty getting my fingers in between the nails there. So I said, let's just have them spaced out every inch. All right, so the other thing I would suggest is using nails that have a small head on. These are just like little finishing nails, all right, and they don't have very wide nail heads. And what that will allow you to do is after we weave our rope in here, we can slide it off the nails easily. If you have a nail that has a big fat head, the nail heads are going to get in the way. All right? So we're going to take the same 3x4 Sona drawing that we did. I'll leave it here so we have it to compare with. And we're going to weave it on this nail board. Okay? Now I just have an old shoelace here. You can use any kind of yarn, I guess, or paracord works pretty nicely. So we're just going to take the shoelace here. All right, so we're going to do a 3x4. So 3 nails high by 4 nails wide. And I suggest giving yourself a lot of slack to go with. Okay, so I'm going to have this short end out here. Okay, so I'm coming in the same way I drew it. Okay, so there's my 90-degree turn. Now I'm at this peg, so I need to go 180. Now notice on this first pass, I've gone over the initial entry. All right, so now I'm going to try to do a weaving here where I go an alternating pattern of over, under. So I've gone over. Now I'm going to go under this one. Okay. Now at this peg here, I'm going to make a 90-degree turn, but I just went under the rope. So now I'm going to go over this, but under this. All right, so over, under, over, under. Okay, pull that through. All right, so now this peg here, I'm going to make a 90-degree turn, another 90, but now I just went under, so I'm going to go over, under, and then over again. So now at this peg here, I need to make that 180. I just went over, so now I'm going to go under. Come on. Over, under, and over. Let me pull this through and I'll get my hands out of the way so you can see what I just did there. Okay. All right. So again, here I went over, under, over, under, over. All right, we're almost done here. I'm going to make a 180 around this corner. And since I just went over, I'm going to go under, over, over, and under again. Let me pull this through and take a quick inspection here. All right, so let's see, I went over, under, over. Oh, I got a glitch here. See how I went over, over. I'd like to say I did that on purpose, but it was just an honest mistake. So I'm going to back this out. All right, so I just went over. Now I got to go under and then over. Pull this through. All right, so let's take a quick look at that. I'm just going to try and take a little twist out of the rope too. Okay, so we got over, under, over, under, over. All right, we're almost done. So I just went over. Now I'm going to go under. This is where the shoelace comes in handy because it's got that little hard plastic. I know there's a name for that, but I forget what it is. But that hard plastic tip almost acts like a needle. And then over, and look what happened. I'm right back where I started. And you can kind of tighten everything up. There you go. So it makes a really cool little weaving here. And if you want, you can pull this off. And this is where the over-under pattern comes in handy. You can pull this off the pegboard. And now it just is a really pleasing looking knot, the way it's woven. And what you can do, I'm not going to do this on camera because it's kind of a tedious process, but what you can do is you can now work to try to cinch this up, right? You can take out the slack and form it into a nice little knot that you could hang on your bag or even make some jewelry out of it, I guess, if you had some nice cordage. All right, so that's the Sona drawing done as a weaving. And in the next video, I'm going to show you what happens if you don't have one continuous path. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Be well.